Well, two of them that you've already named, which is that it's limited in time and capacity. I think when I work with teachers and I tell them those two facts, particularly the one about, if you don't process it within 30 seconds, it's likely to decay, or at least it's likely to ricochet off the surface of your short-term memory. A lot of teachers almost think that I'm making that up, that it's this kind of
Mm-hmm.
like counterintuitive thing that says, wait, so hang on, like an idea can just sort of fade and disappear. And it's like, well, to all intents and purposes, it can, and it does. And then this idea that if you don't revisit information and retrieve it, then yeah, it runs cold and then will also fade. I also think the other piece here is, and this is very much in keeping with what you were describing about your hallway encounter, is that there is a
Yeah.
difference between short-term performance and long-term learning and understanding. And in fact, it's not just that they are different, but it may even be that we could argue they're sort of diametrically opposite, right? So the idea that you could learn something only long enough to be able to show that you know, but then, as you
Yeah.
said, that phenomenon of checking in with someone a week later, and it might as well have been a different student or a different lifetime or a different item of information. So as
Yeah.
processing deeply, directed at content that is accurate and relevant, and for it to happen in a timely manner, almost hot on the heels of every time you introduce a new knowledge item, it must be that you afford students a concrete and intentional opportunity to do that processing and to let them know that fact, right? So you can start to say, as a matter of habit and culture, in my lessons, if we don't use it, we lose it, and if we don't use it
Mm-hmm.
pretty much straight away, we lose it. And so those kinds of habits and routines, I think, are often undervalued or overlooked altogether.